Okay guys, welcome back to another Assetto Corsa setup video. In this video we're going to be looking at the BMW Z4 GT3 at Mugello, running a slightly different setup to our Spa setup. So the car weighing just 1,265 kilograms and pushing out 530 horsepower. So we want to make sure we get a nice clean exit from the last corner, and we're going to be trying to make sure we go over the line at about 151 to 152 miles per hour. Then we're going to be looking out for the second to last white board on the left, which is going to be our braking point going down into third gear. So we're going to go down into fourth gear, then third gear, and then try and hold a nice tight line on this corner, then slowly feed the power through and be careful not to put too much power down, then into fourth gear, briefly back down to third gear to hit a nice apex for that corner. Then be careful on the throttle through these corners. Now you want to get a nice exit there using some of the curb, but just be careful not to put too much power down. Into fifth gear, then back down to third gear for this corner, throwing the car over the curb, then throwing it back over for this corner now. Into fourth gear early, and then on the power as hard as we can. Into fifth gear, then back down to third gear for this corner, fourth gear for this corner now, over the curb, then trying to take a nice tight line again. You may run a little bit wide like I do now, but that's okay, you've got curb there to use. Into fifth gear now for this corner, be careful to avoid the bump on that line there. You've got to take the perfect line through that corner. Then staying in fifth gear, using a bit of the curb on the exit, this fast right hander there, then back down to third gear as we hit the curb there on the left. Then staying in third gear through these corners, trying to swing the car in for this corner now so we can get on the power as early as we can. Into fourth gear, then into fifth gear, on top of the crest of the hill, and then we break down the third gear as we hit that crest. So now staying in third gear through this corner, be careful not to put too much power down as you can get a lot of understeer if you do it. So into fourth gear, then on the power hard now, flat out through this fast chicane. Use some of the curb on the left if you need to, there's plenty of curb there. Then going into sixth gear, then back down to fourth gear for this corner now. We're going to go fourth gear, then third gear to bite it into the apex, braking just on the last white marker on the right also. Then into fourth gear, we actually lose about 200 to 300 of a second on that corner. Bit annoying as it was easily a 146.8 to 9 in this lap with this car. So we go over the lap, the end of the lap at a 147.230. So not a bad lap, but there's definitely a 146 in the Z4 on this track. So we're just going to have a little pause of the screen, have a look there. So it was 147.230. Okay, looking at the setup now, we ran 73 brake balance. Remember, you may want to run 75 to 76. Aero 1.4 felt really nice, and on power 30, coast 70. We were also running traction control on its weakest setting for this setup. If you want to turn it off, just knock that power down to 20 and it drives perfectly fine. Running the cambers not as aggressive as we did at Spa, and the toes not as aggressive either on the front, and the rear a little bit, it's just trying to keep that stability on the rear again there. So the travel range has been altered again for this setup on the tyres, obviously for the suspension, sorry, and the bump stop very slightly altered on the front just to give us a bit more turning at that front end. So this setup should be good to get you a 146. Just work at it if you're struggling. It did take me a bit of time just to get used to the way how to drive it and just get this track with this car, as with the brakes being very it just swings the back end out a bit. You just got to be a bit careful. But like I say, you can alter that brake balance to 75 to 76 if you're struggling with the back end kicking out on any corners. I actually managed to just practice enough just to get it down to 73, although I think 74, 75 might have been a bit more consistent through a race condition, so just bear that in mind. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave you with another replay of the lap I just did then. Remember guys, make sure you subscribe and like this video if it's helped you out, if you've liked what you've watched, and thanks again for watching guys, and I'll be back with more setup videos very soon.